Hi guys, this is Belal Khan back with the next video. In the previous video we built the splash screen. But wait, we did it wrong. And thanks to this guy, I don't know the name as it is not here, but this is the featured comment from the previous video. And I completely agree with this guy. In the last video, what we did is we simply displayed an activity for 3 seconds. Now this does not make any sense, as without any reason we are telling our user to wait for 3 seconds. But the main purpose of the splash screen is to display something when our app is getting loaded. But what we did was we increased the load time by 3 seconds. So in this video we will correct the mistake done in previous video. So let's start. A splash screen is something that should be displayed immediately even before inflating the layout. So for this, we will not create a view, instead we will create a drawable resource. And in that resource, we will create the splash screen design using layer list. Then we will set the design created to the background of the starting activity. And when the activity is loaded, we will start the home activity. Okay, so this is what we are going to do. So the first thing we need is our splash screen design. But this time not like this as we did in the previous video, but we will create a drawable resource file. And to create a drawable resource file, come inside your app, go to rest folder, and inside the drawable folder create a new drawable resource file. Okay, now you can name it anything. I'm naming splash screen. Now in this file we will design our splash screen. Okay, and as you can see, our splash screen has 3 items. First is the background image, then these 2 images which are basically some text. Okay, one is the logo and one is made in India. Okay, so let's design the same in this splash screen. And as it is a drawable resource file, so to combine multiple images or drawables together, we will use a layer list. Okay, so we have this layer list. Now we will have 3 items. One for the background image, one for the app logo, and one for made in India. Okay, so let's create an item. And for this I will have the drawable as BG splash. Okay, so this is my drawable background. Now I will create another item here. This time we will set the width and the height. And then the background, which is we set by using drawable. Okay, so the background is logo. Okay, and then we will make this logo to the center of the screen horizontally, and for this we can use the gravity property, which is center horizontal. Now we also need the third item, so let's create one more item here. Again we will define the width and the height, and this time the drawable would be made in India image that we had. Okay, now again we will make it to the center horizontally. Okay, but we also need this thing to the bottom of the screen, so we will also define bottom property here. Okay, so now it is at the bottom, and we can also define bottom as -40 dp to make it on the bottom. So we have our splash screen design. Okay, now come to your activity_main.xml, and you can actually, we don't need this thing anymore. Okay, so delete the background and delete these image views. We don't even need this activity_main.xml file. Okay, so I will delete this, but let's see at first that what we are going to do. Okay, So the first thing that we did is we created our splash screen design, which is here splash_screen.xml. Now we will create a new style. Okay. So to do this, come inside values and then styles.xml. Okay. And here we will create one more style for our splash screen. So let's name it splash screen. Okay. And the parent would be no action bar, this theme, the same theme that we are using here. Okay. So we have a new style. Now for this style, we will define an item and it is window background. And for the background, we will define the drawable that we just created, which is splash_screen. Okay, so we have the background for this theme. Now we will define this theme for our main activity, which is actually our splash screen. Okay, so to define the theme for this activity, you need to come inside manifest file, okay, which is android manifest.xml. And here for the main activity, we will define the theme. Okay, so here we will define the theme as splash screen. Now we actually do not need this file, so delete this thing. But first come to main activity and delete everything from here. We do not need these things. Okay, we just need these 3 lines. So cut this and paste it here. Okay, and delete everything else. Now we also do not need this line. Okay, set content view. We do not need to set the content view. Okay, as we already set the background of the activity. Now when the activity will be loaded successfully, it will start our home activity and our splash screen will be displayed for a very small amount of time. Okay, so let's test it. What we did, we defined the splash screen as our activity theme for main activity, and we designed this splash screen, and we also defined this style here. Okay, now let's test it. You can see we have the splash screen. Let me show you again. So this is the splash screen. So guys, this is the correct way to implement splash screen. I hope you got the point. Also thank Mr. Ground Shaking or whatever his name is for pointing out the issue. I have pinned his comment. Finally, if you think this video is useful, hit on the like button and share it with your friends. If you think it is useless, then that's okay, you can dislike it. But if you have something to tell me so that I can improve, then please tell it on the comments. So thank you guys, this is Belal Khan signing off.